Hello everyone, my name is Meghan LeVota, and today I kind of just wanted to chat with you guys for a bit about the topic of creating from a place of peace. So what I really enjoy doing on my channel is whenever I have a realization, I like to be able to share it with you guys just in case there's any of you guys who might be going through or realizing something similar. I've tend to realize in my life that whenever I am having a major breakthrough, that chances are a lot of my friends are having that as well. And part of that has to do with, just the fact that if people resonate with me, we're kind of, rubbing off on each other. But I also do believe that there are these like collective themes that we can see. Anyway, I don't really know where I'm going with this video, but what I've been realizing lately, and this realization sunk in even more yesterday, is the idea that of how important it is to always create from a place of peace. And what I've been doing instead lately is creating so that I can reach peace, which I know this might sound like a really elementary realization because, now that I'm thinking about it, it's sort of like, well, duh. Like, I already knew for a while that, like, you have to be, content with you. You shouldn't just be chasing this never-ending ladder, and, like, you have to be happy where you are. And I totally get that, and I've got that. But my thing was that I enjoyed the journey. I enjoy the process. I enjoy, making videos. I enjoy making podcast episodes. I enjoy, some of the projects I'm working on, and that's really fun for me. And so I have been treating a lot of that as fun, as extra. And when I calculate everything, I am taking up so much of my time. Like, my time is completely booked always, which means that I don't really have time for spontaneity. I don't really have time for nothingness. And I haven't given myself that time, and it's nobody else's fault but me. And I really have a tendency to ride the wave of excitement. I think a lot of ENFJs will relate to this. Comment and let me know if you do. I enjoy the journey and I enjoy the process, and I believe in the end goal, and I will ride that wave of energy, whether or not I actually have energy, because I believe and I trust that in creating from a place of inspiration, it will leave me fulfilled. And that's true. It does leave me fulfilled. And, that was never wrong, if that makes sense. But what I'm realizing is how little peace I'm allowing into my life. And I've been thinking, like, once I cross this bridge, that things will be different. And it's not naive. It's not as naive as it sounds, because I've had literal bridges with literal actions that I was taking where I knew that on the other side of the bridge things will be different, and that has been true. And I am on the precipice of change. But what I am really realizing is that I have to take the radical action of giving myself peace almost before I deserve it. So that's why I haven't been uploading as much. I'm going to get back in the hang of it. But for those of you who have been following me for a while, if you know anything about, I guess, my personal life, I don't obviously share all the details, but I have shared in the past and live streams and stuff like that. If you did not know, I have gone through a tremendous amount of change over, I guess, almost 2 years now, but it really started in March of 2018. It's like, in March of 2018, my grandma passed away and my childhood dog passed away. And then 2 weeks later, like, they died within the same, like, couple weeks. And then 2 weeks later, I met my now girlfriend, who I've been with for over a year and a half. And also right after I met my girlfriend, I was let go from a job. And so I was sort of catapulted into who knows what. Like was sort of catapulted into this weirdness of trying to navigate, what do I want my career to look like? And to be really honest, guys, my grandma on her deathbed told me that she just hoped that I followed my heart. My grandma was an ESFJ 2 wing 1 in the Enneagram. I didn't plan on sharing this, but anyway, I guess it's relevant, is that she told me that, and I'm realizing how much that impacted me, is that ever since then, I have not followed my heart. And I definitely would not be the person I am today if it wasn't for this journey. But, sorry, I'm probably sounding really cryptic. This is just how NI egos can talk sometimes. I promise nothing really is gonna change that much. I'm just sort of, I haven't been super inspired to make a dedicated video about a dedicated topic, and so I thought I would just chat. But anyway, what am I saying? So I started working at a coffee shop. I started doing all this freelance stuff. I decided to go back to school. You know, I moved to a different location, like a 1-bedroom instead of a studio. And my girlfriend moved to the same town as me. All of this stuff happening in 2018, and then like every single month has been different. Oh my gosh, I already got some. Ugh. Every single month has been different. And, you know, I believe I made a video about a year ago where I was talking about how if you are a J type, so as I'm an ENFJ, and you begin to sort of change your approach to life and act more P-like, that you will notice that your life experiences are literally different. And the weird things you attract are different. That was something I've been realizing, is that, not saying that J's can't deal with change, but I literally put myself in that state of constant change. And it's kind of interesting because during that time period, a lot of people online who maybe didn't know me that well would tell me that I was a P, like either that being ENFP, ESTP, or ESFP, I don't know. And that's just funny to me because it's like, that is so unnatural to me. I don't like that. Like, and so it's almost like this whole year and a half I've been trying to find stability. And you know, because I don't value SI stability, I'm trying to find it in my own NI way, which is a challenge. And, you know, I made a video before where I talked about how innovation isn't always a risk, because innovation can also stabilize. And I very much believe that when we live in a world where a lot of industries and foundational structures are shattering beneath our feet, you don't know when you're gonna come across a trap door. It's kind of ignorant to assume that something's going to care for you. And the reason why I got into entrepreneurship is not because I always wanted that, but because I feel like in this day and age, it seems actually to be the most practical for a young millennial woman with my skill set. I don't find it to be practical to not, at least for me personally. I'm not saying that everybody has to be an entrepreneur, but it makes sense in this time. You know, my degrees in journalism, I've talked about this before. I actually recently did a podcast episode kind of about a lot of my feelings about this. You know, the journalism industry is changing. It's hard to find a stable job in some of the industries I'm interested in. And so my approach, especially around a year and a half ago when I was let go from that job, was that I need to create my own. And now I'm in this place where I have immense clarity about what I want to do for my career, the offerings I want to have. I've never felt more clear about who I am, what I'm doing, and everything. You know, I think that clarity really started to hit in like June or July, but I am afraid of putting all my eggs in one basket, which is what I do all the time. I've been afraid of like I don't want my dream. I don't want to just expect or trust or try and control, I guess, my destiny or my dreams to happen in a specific way. I want to be pointed toward them, and I want to face the direction of them without trying to play God and make them happen in a certain time. You know, because I guess what I'm saying is that, yes, I have clarity. Yes, I have direction. I'm so, so grateful for that. But just because I have clarity and direction doesn't mean that I get to play God and say, you know, this is going to work out in November so that I can pay for December 1st rent. You know, that's what I've been trying to play that game for a few months now. And, you know, I've made a video before about ENFJ burnout. That's definitely a thing. It's like I've been neglecting any sort of SI stability. And I've been completely riding on this wave of inspiration and this wave of purpose. And, you know, again, I'm so grateful for purpose. I'm so grateful for clarity and direction, but that does not, you know, pay the bills. And I'm not saying that it can't pay the bills, but here's really what I'm realizing is that if I am not creating from a place of peace and stability, then my creations will be shaky. And, you know, I've known that, whatever, but like, I am really trying to bite the bullet and swallow my pride a little bit and sort of play nice with SI stuff, I guess a little bit. You know, ENFJs, if you're listening, it is not logical or practical for you to wait until your dreams happen to start caring about your body and start caring about yourself. Because let's just be real here. Like, whenever I lost my job and I had to live in a tight budget, I did not reward myself with anything other than necessities. I still don't really. I mean, I'm getting better at it, but like my baseline, I made my baseline very low. And I did that because I want to make time for what inspires me. That is always more important to me. But what happens if you are running on survival mode for a year and a half? Well, you know, I start eating not so great. I start sleeping not so great. I start to notice I have knee pain. I start to notice I have back pain. That, you know, it's like I'm 25. I know a lot of us are dealing with this, but it's like, you know, I'm not going to be youthful forever. I can't just like completely ignore my body. You know, I can't just not get sleep, you know. So I have to, you know, eat protein every day and like things like that. I have to eat my vitamins, like all of this stuff. It's like, I am now declaring and I'm allowing myself to allow there to be some sort of SI baseline here where, you know, if I don't feel peaceful, if I've not done the things that I need to create inner peace, then no more inspiration for me. I don't get inspiration. So it's not like that okay, what am I trying to say here? I'm not trying to pit those two against each other as if they're mutually exclusive. I'm kind of trying to joke about the fact that I have viewed them that way, as though I've been choosing inspiration over peace, when that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. You know, if I give myself peace, then perhaps it will inspire even greater inspirations, or maybe more stable inspirations, you know. And, you know, I have felt for a long time that, like, you know, I cook all the time. I don't eat out. I have made time to travel over this year and stuff, but even then I tried to cook while I was there, and you know, I don't really invest in myself very much, which is, you know, normal, I guess. Especially if you're like living paycheck to paycheck, it is pretty normal to not allow that for yourself. But, you know, I need to prioritize self-care. You know, I can't just not invest in self-care. So it's like I'm creating this new baseline for myself where I want to create from a place of peace. I want to have the self-care before I create, and I'm trying to be very rigid about that. We'll see how that goes. In a way, I'm telling you guys so you can hold me accountable. If I ever make a video and you're like, Megan, you don't feel very peaceful today or something, just let me know. But like, yeah, I can't wait. Even if I feel like I have no money, I have no time for self-care, which, you know, in a way, I don't. Yet also in a way, I have time to make this video. So you see where my priorities lie. And that's what I'm really having to spell out for myself, you know. And I think that it's because it does weirdly take energy, and I have a lot of resistance to sitting with myself in silence and allowing myself to have peace. It's really difficult for me because I feel guilty the entire time. So I'm trying to radically give myself peace, whether or not I deserve it, whether or not I feel like, you know, I have the resources currently. And I am also trying to, you know, allow some stability into my life and trust that once I do that, it is going to allow even more space and freedom with my visions, which, you know, my visions are very tight, if that makes sense. I think a lot of NJs might get what I mean, and if you do, please let me know, because I know that's kind of a weird phrasing. But yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for continuing to be supportive of me and being subscribed to me. For those of you who went to the personality type meetup I did in LA, thank you so much for going. It was a great turnout. I apologize that the audio was not that great in that video if you watched it. Next time, if I do that again, I will prepare. That is, you know, kind of a perfect example of me riding on the wave of my inspiration. You know, I think that if I don't begin to create from peace, then I won't be making things that I'm as proud of as I would be if I felt more peace before I did it. You know, because I was frantically running there. I was frantically figuring out how to do the live stream right before, you know, and whenever I do that, I'm not ever really in the moment. I'm not ever really enjoying what's happening. So anyway, thank you guys. If you are interested in any of my typology, typing services or mentorship, or if you want to support me on Patreon, those links are below. So thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your day.